What is the CPI, or Consumer Price Index? Basically, it's an index that calculates the movement in price in a specific basket of products, right? Of goods and services, basically. What you need to know is that it takes into consideration food and beverage, housing, medical, education, transportation, communication like phones, etc., entertainment, recreation. It takes into consideration other goods and services like smoking, etc. Anyway, I put a list down below. But what I want you to really understand is that the CPI has some problems. Whenever we see the CPI number, first of all, we need to go to FRED, so the Federal Reserve Bureau of Economic Data, and you can see the link below. And we look at the core CPI. That excludes food and beverage and energy, because as you know, food and beverage and energy are pretty volatile. So we want to look at the core CPI to really give us a look into the PCE, which is something we're going to explain in a future video. And it's something that really takes into consideration further details, and the Federal Reserve usually bases their decisions on the PCE rather than the CPI. The CPI has some problems when it comes to analyzing the CPI. First of all, the methodology. So the way it's calculated is a bit complicated. It's a bit lagging. That's number one. Number two, the actual goods that are included in those baskets are pretty unclear, and they change, and sometimes they're lagging. They don't really represent what people are really buying. So you want to look at that. So I wouldn't really base my decisions on the CPI alone. I would look at the whole trend in the market and base my decision on the CPI and the core CPI and that comparison between those two, and the PCE forecast and what are the forecasts and the actual other numbers and indexes and indicators that are in the market that can give me a clearer view of what is inflation. Because remember, the CPI calculates basically, or not calculates, but like gives us an idea of inflation. That's very important. It gives us an idea of what inflation is in the market. And that's something that we want to pay attention to. So that's for the CPI. I added some details below. I added the website where you can go check it. Make sure that on the day the CPI is going out, you see how the market is performing and how it's moving based on that indicator.